I smoked the endo. Said I smoked something that will knock me out, you know.
That's what I said?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't hear it. Everyone's on, you know. Do you know what's weird? From, you know, like, just working, I've noticed a lot of programs incorporate it. Like, there's not one show I haven't watched without it being mentioned.
Demonic.
Like, in something's always mentioned.
Well, you know, he was talking about mushrooms a lot.
Okay.
Tyson. Mike Tyson.
I do feel like
he's saying that, yeah, he's saying that. I mean, if you hear him speak these days,
yeah, it gets like that. It's weird one because you know with sport, yeah, you have to be in a certain mind frame, and I feel like with these, that's why they ban drugs. Because
well, if you watch why have I forgotten his name? Well, he was an advocate of hemp, and hemp was used in household things, in lots of stuff. Yeah. He was a war veteran. He was pro hemp, weed, and that type of thing, and he petitioned to get to make it legal, because at one stage it was, but what they said was, don't be like the blacks and the Mexicans, and they demonized it and likened it to being lazy. But if you're slaves, how can you be lazy? You know, all of that cognitive dissonance nonsense that they speak. And then obviously now, especially like you know, with us having Marley, and you know, looking at so many things in regards to epilepsy, especially when we went to live in Jamaica. People, I remember someone coming to me on the beach saying, I sell it, you know, and it's used for epilepsy. This concept that we have, we're very, very brainwashed to believe everything's, like it was called a gateway drug for so long.
Pioneer days were covered with hemp and canvas. Indeed, the very word canvas comes from the Arabic word for hemp.
But it's not there.
But any time the government put a ban on something or say it's illegal, it's for a reason, because they know the benefits of it.
In those days, hemp was an important crop in Kentucky and Missouri.
Although, yeah, you could put some sort of powder on it and make people go crazy.
In 1942, patriotic farmers, at the government's request, planted 36,000 acres of seed hemp, an increase of several thousand %. The goal for 1943 is 50,000 acres of seed hemp. In Kentucky, much of the seed hemp acreage is on river bottom land such as this, along the Kentucky River Gorge. Some of these fields are inaccessible except by boat. Thus, plans are afoot for a great expansion of the hemp industry as a part of the war program. This film is designed to tell farmers how to handle this ancient crop, now little known outside Kentucky and Wisconsin. This is hemp seed. Be careful how you use it. For to grow hemp legally, you must have a federal registration and tax stamp. This is provided for in your contract. Ask your AAA committeeman or your county agent about it. Don't forget.
Yes, the stuff they add to it. You know what's mad? I was watching something when we were looking for an alternative for Marley being out in Jamaica. And apparently the people that really control the, what do you call it, the regulations and dispersing it, are people in the UK. Because what's that lady, actually one of my relatives sent me a news clip of a mother. Is it called Charlie? Not a good name, really, but she made a law because it was the only thing that helped her son. And so she campaigned and campaigned and campaigned. She was like, you know this stuff works. He's not a drug addict. He has epilepsy. When we give him the weed, him good. So like, how do you differentiate with who's why is it not demonic there, but it's demonic there? I mean, okay, don't get me wrong. The child's obviously not lighting up the chalice. You know what I mean? But, and so you could say the way you consume it, because some rastas will say, they never ever, I mean, not burn anything like, through my body.
We just steep it, because the more heat you apply the heat to herbs, the more toxins you're going to draw out. Yes, the herb is for the healing of the nation, and the herb does have tremendous, powerful medicinal value. But also we can activate the toxic element in the herb as well by going beyond the temperature we apply to that herb in the process of making it available to our system by exposing it to a heat that's higher than the highest recorded solar temperature on the planet ever. So yes, we can take it and make sun tea, we can juice it through a juice extractor, or we can just eat the fresh herb just like we eat any other fresh herb. And there goes the glaucoma, there goes all of the other issues that the herbs, especially the ganja, is designed to heal.
Because it's like you're burning,
your lungs,
you know, my Rasta's child. Yeah. So they drink it, and I say to you, obviously, you know, I did for a long time, but like the way it affects my health now, my eyes and stuff, I can't do it. But I would drink it because people drink it. And remember I said to you, one time I was young in church, and what was his name? He used to go, ah, in the spirit and grab you. He was really aggressive. Oh, why don't I remember his name? A brother in church, an older man, and one day he grabbed me. My wife did have the cancer, you know, I did have the cancer. My wife did boil up the ganja and I drank it. Why are you just randomly telling me, a 12-year-old in church, whispered it in my ear? Weird things happen in your life, you know, but it's weird. It's
poignant, though.
Yeah, very poignant.
These things happen for
and he was a church, but they said, no, the cancer, oh, gone. And I was like, okay. You know.
Sorry to this man. But yeah.
Our perception, I think we live in prisons that we put our own selves in.
Yeah, well, you know what it is. Don't question the government, which you should. Not saying us, but I'm saying generally, people do not question the government's reasonings behind whatever they're trying to push at the time.
But you know, there was a time where they told us that cigarettes were good for us and milk. Yeah. Milk was good for you. Well. Yeah, they lied. They told them loads of lies, and we believed it.
Listen to this Newport commercial I just wrote.
I expect you to write jokes, not commercials.
Oh, but listen to this. Newport refreshes while you smoke, because only Newport combines menthol, fine tobaccos, and a hint of mint. Oh, that's beautiful.
I've always said that about Newport. I also say Newport is more refreshing to begin with, more refreshing all the way.
Hey, I'll write that next week.
It's just to mash everyone up.
Yeah.
They think they're smart.
Can't fool I know, you know. Good evening. How is everyone? Yes, good. I'm glad you're feeling great. Listen. Sorry, say hello.
Welcome back to the
Hell
channel.
is low. Hell is low. We don't say hello, we say hi.
We never say nothing. We say welcome back to the channel. How is everyone? You're good? You're alright? Yeah.
Yes.
Alright.
Quick one. So you know, there is a book available. It's a journal to a better you, because who better to change us than ourselves? Here it is. If anybody would like one for free, email us at iamtransmission@gmail.com. Yeah, if you, your daughter, your son maybe, need to spot the red flags in your relationships, you know what to do. Hit me up. Okay, because it's about giving things away sometimes. You know it's on Amazon, but this is a giveaway. So you contact me this week, you can have it for free. Amen. Praise the Lord. We're in the house of the Lord. What's our conversation about tonight?
So today, we are going to speak on the shift. Have a little bit of tea, a little bit of informations and that. Bad boy piece of information. But so I'm noticing I've been quite reclusive and not really into everyone's business, but I am seeing that a lot of people are trying to change or gravitate away from bad vibes. And I know everyone says, oh, bad vibes, allow it, you know, soft life, this, that, the other, but people are like removing themselves from family and toxic friends, or friends that, you know, begin to become haters because they've reached a certain point of success, or they're in a happy relationship or in a family now, and everyone's getting exposed, and we're seeing just a shift in people's energies and not wanting to be fake and not wanting to be in a certain area or a state or a city because the energy that's on it or the people that they're around. And it's nice to see that. Or people just like getting pregnant or having families now, and they're the same ones that you would never expect it from, because they've just like shifted and they don't want the toxicity anymore. But it's just nice to see.
It took a while. Some of us have been there for a long time.
For long.
You know, we stepped in. Do you know I watched something called Heart to Heart, which is Kevin Hart.
Like different celebrities.
Yeah, what's her name? Cameron Diaz. Is that her name? Blonde. She did the thing where she put the bling in her hair. Yeah. She was saying, he was asking her, why did you remove yourself from the public eye?
But for me, I just really wanted to make my life manageable by me. You know, like my routine in a day is literally what I can manage to do by myself.
I know it has to feel amazing.
And when you hear celebrities talking like this, you have to pay attention. But you know what I'm spotting now? The toxicity is so rife now. It's so obvious. It's like, before it was a lot of smoke and mirrors and everybody wanted to be, you know, obviously you still get the people that run down, you know, to be famous or infamous. Yeah, to be seen. But generally now, it doesn't have the shine on it that it did before. Exactly. You know, I mean, I don't know what's happened in regards to Will Smith and his Jada.
He's apologized to Chris Rock, but I'm not really sure. In terms of his career, I think people are still going to support him because it's Will Smith, but you know, their family altogether and their toxic marriage, relationship, whatever, situationship, and August Orsina.
Well, it just
don't support it anymore.
Well, it just makes you see that, you know, you were in love with the fairy tale. Yeah, fantasy. The fantasy, because you know, she was an Instagram model and she dated Chris Brown and Nick Cannon. And she said, she said, you know, she said, I've got AIDS. She don't know how she got it.
We gonna fix it. The little nurse guy comes in here. I'm gonna talk to him.
I get this question a lot. I do not know who gave it to me or where I got it, how I got it. All I know is that because I was so sick at the point of death that they said I had to have had it for 8 to 10 years. And in that time frame, I was living in New York City and I was homeless. I did get raped a couple times, not something I like to talk about. I have had a couple free tattoos, so it could have been a dirty needle. I don't know. Do I know those people? No. Did I say anything when those things happened? No, because I was naive and I was stupid and I was young. And that's all I can really say about this question.
She's really giving a candid, you know, insight to what, you know, she's thin, and she's in a hospital and she's fighting for her life. And so this image of, like I said before, it's not cute being that
promiscuous.
Yeah, that, you know, I'm a, what do you call it?
City girl.
It's not cute. It's not cute. I'm not saying everybody who does this city girl thing is sleeping around. But genuinely you are. No, let's be honest. And if you're not, you're trying to portray that, you know, you've got, selfish.
But if you are a city girl and, you know what, like, with that lifestyle, I just feel like if you're going to go that way, on that path, avenue, whatever, then you're only gonna attract a certain type of guys, and if that's what they're into, they're just going to use you. And if you don't mind being used, then that's good, that's fine, that's your thing. But in general, I just feel like most guys and females don't really rock with it anymore.
I don't know, you know.
The girls are trying to push it because it's like, if you don't have a skill and you need the money, then yeah.
But you know what, in a way you're right, but it's also, some women do. I mean, some people are, okay, for instance, you know, Cardi was saying, somebody asked her, like, do you regret stripping? And she went, how can I regret stripping? I was living in a house with my boyfriend in his mother's house. In mother's house, and we were sharing like a 1-bedroom place. He was beating me. I had no money. If I didn't do that, I would never have got away. You know, and I don't look down on people that do that. I've been there. I've been around people. Not I've done it, but I've been around girls who told me the story. I've sat in strip clubs chatting to girls, shaking and doing all sorts. And you know, I've seen them cry and different. I don't want to do that, but some of them were doing it to get through uni. Some of them were doing it so they could house them and their children. You know,
that's why I say I don't like the bashing. Like if someone's had to hustle their way to make it where they are, then that's their thing.
A lot of people don't want to do it.
The hoeing part of it, it kind of is a choice. Like, you don't necessarily have to, but if that's what you're into or you feel like you have to, then.
I told you in my experience, and I was about 18, and someone said, oh, because I was dancing a lot. not stripping dancing, like dancing for shows and clubs and stuff. And they took me, I'm trying to remember who it was, said, come with me, there's a place I could take you to. When we get there, we never know it was a strip club. But I saw somebody in there that I could hot up even now. And they said, what are you doing in here? And covered themselves. I said, don't tell anyone. And then when I saw them react like that, it made me go, I don't belong here. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because I'm like, shame. Yeah, because I'm like, the minute you knew somebody who knew you, saw you, you felt naked, literally. You are naked, but you felt naked. Yeah. I was just like, this is not for me. It's not for me. You know, what if your dad comes in, he's skinning out your nanny?
That's what I'm saying, that uncle or something, allow that.
It's just not for me. Certain things I just can't.
Not the one.
Can't do. But anyway, the long and short is, I mean, like I've said to you before, this society encourages you to be childish. You don't really acknowledge it, but especially in England, like where they you know, we've been looking up certain things recently, but generally they don't promote you buying land here, and if it's so expensive, the average person can't buy it, right? Unless you look into different avenues. But so you were always going back to the government, which is like, mummy, daddy, help me. You know, I'm not saying, because trust me, they've helped me in my life, you know what I mean? But what I'm saying is, there's a dependency mindset.
But they do that on purpose.
Do you know what I'm trying to say? And I'm saying that filters out. If you notice, most people that get recognition in this climate, they're being prankish, they're childish. You saw, they're jokey. I'm not saying it's a problem to laugh and have fun, but it's quite basic that if you try to have articulate conversation with them, some of them didn't even finish high school, and if they did, they didn't really come out with anything. Now, like I said to you, I sat in exams, and because of the racism and the stress, I just didn't even, you know, do the test. Yeah. But it didn't mean that I wasn't educated here. But a lot of them are not far educated than a 10-year-old. Yeah. You know? And so you're getting a lot of your entertainment, your information from people, the big people who are children. Yeah, facts. You know? And it's becoming, I think, one thing lockdown has done is it exposed the immaturity in society. Definitely. And the toxicity. Am I making sense?
I agree. And you see, even with like the algorithm as well of YouTube, I'm noticing like even the big celebrities are having to beg for views or beg for attention. And like, you see how everyone now is doing podcasts and sit down shows and talking, and because it's just like you look up to these celebrities, or you admire them, or you're inspired by them, but now when they have these little sit downs and speak on events, you can actually get an insight to them as just normal human beings. Like,
the backstory.
It's not idolization anymore. It's just more like, oh, okay. Or if you don't even relate to it now, you're not really fussed, like you're not bothered by it. It's just like, okay, well, that's your life. This is my life. I have to go back to it and deal with whatever stuff. So I don't even find that important anymore.
And you saying that, I don't know if it was Sweetie with Kevin Hart as well. I watched quite a few of them, just watching people's stuff. Somebody was saying that they don't even go on their social media anymore. And since they haven't in a long time, they feel mentally...
there again.
Yeah, because they just felt like... Because obviously, we know the app is associated with that of being an addict. The swiping. Apparently, they did certain tests and said, yeah, it was to do with being addicted. And so you want to come down. But the problem... like I said from day on, I've never really been into it. Some on and off things like that, and not consistent as I should be, because I just feel like your energy is drained out. and everybody,
It's a lot of
instead of,
acting.
I don't feel like it's a supportive environment. It's cliquey.
In 2016, the modern incarnation of Activní Meropриятия became a sophisticated multi-million-dollar social media operation using hundreds of thousands of fake accounts with the goal of dividing Americans.
It's that cliquey. It encourages competition, and I don't think it's a healthy competition. Fakeness, lying.
But what they were really doing over time, over about 2.5 years, was facilitating tribalism. And the narratives that they were putting out was this notion that here's a community of people, police officers, who are sacrificing so much, who are putting their lives on the line, and they're just being treated terribly by the rest of America.
The real trick of Russian social media tactics is to take a divisive issue and play each side against the other.
It's like I was watching something where it was about Bow Wow. And he said he, you know, during his career, he told lies about, you know, getting on jets, and when they looked into when they looked at the picture, it was a fake picture that was on some travel agent site. But this need to portray this image all the time, it's exhausting.
He's ruined his own career by doing a lot of those things, because it's like people always ignored him because he's like begging it constantly.
But all of them are big. Every last one of them are big.
Yeah, of course. But you know, when you're overly doing it, like, there's certain ways to go on. If you want to be back in the limelight, but you can just see when someone's thirsty for fame, like, notice me, notice me.
But that's why I feel that about social media, that it's like, I mean, some of the things I see, I'm like, you filmed yourself doing that for 10 seconds for what? I'm not like a party people. It's just like, you're going far for attention. It's almost like it's encouraging you to be an attention seeker.
Basically.
You know, don't get me wrong. You got a talent. You got something that can help other people and feed you. Go ahead. But are you doing it for that? Or once again, can you not find validation within yourself? So you have to go out. And then remember, with that, with positive validation comes the negative. You know, and if you don't, because a lot of these celebrities are prepared for the lifestyle. They're prepared for people insulting and But nowadays, I've noticed a lot of them are switching off comments because who needs everybody? That
a million people
like, on an average day, right? You don't need everybody's 2 pence about what you're doing, because to be honest, that halts your progress.
And then it's the same people you have to entertain.
Right.
Nah.
It's like I heard, I was watching something, as I said before, with Trunks, Philly, and Harry Pinero. It was just a snippet that I saw. And Trunks was saying that he went to some kind of football match. And some guy started on him and said, oh, you're not really from these ends. And he's like, yeah, I am. And they wanted to fight him and said, you're not that funny. And he's like, he said, it's like a mental illness. You know, you see me elevating in life and you want to fight me because of it.
I said this to you.
You know, it's just like, and so what you're saying about the climate changing, I think people's eyes are opening. And what a lot of people have done to get this fabulous life, you know, it's a bit...
If you've had this, but I've had people throw millions of dollars in my face to do something I didn't want to do. And what? Just, you've been offered, Oh, they're in the room.
Yeah, I don't want to. Yeah. That was my way of cueing you. Like, it's open dialogue.
Yeah, you want me to keep talking about it?
By all means, we can talk about anything, but...
But don't do it.
Yeah.
You had to do that.
But you see, this COVID and quarantine has been very humbling. Like, even to get back to your normal self or be in the swing of making money again, as a normal person or as a celebrity, it's been hard. So now it's just like everyone's on the same playing field. That the celebs are having to, you know, go below themselves or try and reach out to new people to try and gain recognition again or admiration, because
a lot of them are jumping off
labels
and stuff, aren't they? You know what's mad? It's like it's going back to the times where I was coming up, like the 90s, where it was more about, you know, a bit like Nipsey, selling your stuff at the back of your car, you know. I'm not saying work should have to be hard, because it shouldn't have to be hard, but it should be fair. And I feel like one positive thing about social media is it's given everybody a crack at the whip. Yeah. It's anybody's game. You could all make something of yourself.
But one thing I don't understand is, like, who decides what's, you know what I mean, trending or...
Yeah, because this whole algorithm, I don't believe it's some random thing. I think somebody... Picking. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And if someone has an issue with you, because I still feel like, yeah, it is clicky. Like, it is clicky. If someone doesn't like you, they could say, nah, like, let's just blacklist that person in particular. I don't want them getting anywhere. So if you know where you're up, if you know where you're up,
childish, isn't it?
You want to sign we're going to rubbish your whole label, whatever, because we don't want to see them succeed.
Well, you see, that type of stuff was going on in the 90s, and the penultimate thing, or the ultimate thing, was Tupac and Biggie. I was there them times, you get me? And so, what came from that? And once again, it goes back to being childish. And randomly, I'm being interjecting with some history, because we haven't done one of them in a while. But when I was looking up Black Douglas, when I saw the conversation between him and the king at the time, which was Henry VIII, I think, it said he went to visit him, but they were both 14-year-old boys. My mind went, poof. So even in those times when we talk about Henry VIII and all these people and them being in power, the time when they were on the throne and establishing themselves and having fights and turning one kingdom against each other, they were boys.
Well, obviously that's why.
They were 14.
Because, yeah, you're making children control the land, whatever. Still, I don't know who puts who in position, but it needs to just allow it.
And you know what, like, you know me, I appreciate anybody from child to adult. You know, sometimes children have some very prolific things to say to you, and they see things that an adult you can't. Yeah, very insightful, because we become very logical, whereas children just see things for what they are. And sometimes a child can tell you your business, you know. But in saying that, at the same time, with the society, they it's almost like once you get past 24, you're finished. You know, let's put you in your coffee.
Yeah, you're finished.
It's time.
It's over.
There you go. All right, good night. Don't come out. Do you know what I mean?
Which, I'm saying.
To be honest, this window of being young and available and hot and I'm amazing is very small. It's about 5 years. Do you understand? If we go from 21 to 24, how many years is that? 3? You know, if you're saying by the time you're 30, you're old, then the window is small. It's 9 years then. We'll give it that.
And then you're rushing kids to grow up quickly.
So then, if that's...
telling them, calm down.
So then if you're telling people that they'll only have any worth for 10 years, and you in your brain, because I hear young people talk, like, you mash up now, you think... But compared to the average, your average life is 70 years, isn't it? Right? So for the rest of the years, 40 years, you're done out.
Finished.
So by 30, you better be packing yourself in your coffin then. Do you see the mentality?
Yeah,
it makes no sense. None. You know, the life.
But I always say that to you, man. Like, the amount of times there be girl be on road and I say to you, oh, come on, like, these girls are my age, and you're saying, oh, well, I feel like this, da da da. I'm saying, but look at people like Naomi, what's her name, Evangelista.
Yeah, Linda's beautiful.
Like, come on.
Where has she gone anyway?
Serious, Kate Moss.
To be honest, the the way they're dunning out the food, these young girls, so a lot of them are looking, they're looking howlier, because we know that means black. They're looking, stop eating these burgers, because sometimes I'm like, you mean you're not my age?
Did you not? Okay, let me know.
What?
Today when we were out, like, you know the guy that was talking to us, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
He was with a woman, innit?
Oh, yes, yeah.
How are you wearing pom-pom shorts to work?
Hidden. She needs some olive oil right there. Jesus.
Pom-pom shorts to work with the ripple. You know what?
Do you know what? People are different now. There's
that is
no
so
class,
unprofessional.
No class anymore.
Batty rider shorts? No. And you're selling me something. I'm not taking you seriously. I'm really not.
We're talking about taking people seriously. What was you saying to me earlier? Which you said, tell me later about Kim. Kim K.
Yeah, so Kim and Pete have broken up.
Wow.
And Kanye
saw that coming.
You know what I mean? He makes his rounds. I can't know. So does she, but he makes his rounds. He's always trying to find the next. Ooh, let me prep myself up with the hottest banging body girl because I'm funny. I can get whoever I want. No wonder Ariana pushed you to the side. You got moved up.
He looks like Frankenstein. Please,
and
give me a break.
Every woman he's wanting to lock down, ring.
It's a game.
I want a child now.
It's a game.
I know, like, he's had really tough upbringing and a life and etc. Everyone does, but it's just like with these men, they feel so entitled. I've said this how many times, but once they like you, they say, yeah,
mine.
Open
up the front now.
Give me my, you know what I mean?
Give me the crutches now.
He's not being logical. Like, she's a big woman. She's in her 40s now. She's got 5 kids.
Yeah, but she's
5, isn't it?
But you know what though?
You're already gallivanting street with him, so you feel shame.
She's an idiot.
You feel shame because you went
How
there.
do you just split over your husband and you're already
street with
and talking about he's coming to the party, but your husband and the father of your children who put you on is outside?
No, that can't run.
You're a clown.
Then you're allowing him to beef over messages with your baby dad, your husband.
How are you going to let a complete stranger who's not your children's father come in and have precedence over your children like that?
That's just, they can't run.
But you know what? You know what? These are the women that you keep choosing, so you deserve it.
You know, and they used
keep running these idiot gal down.
Facts. It's embarrassing. They used to do all that, Captain, save a whole business, or you can't save a whole, don't make a whole housewife. But you went and did that. That was the first thing you went and did. And then you're complaining that she goes and she's not loyal and she left me and she went for some other woody. But you already knew that was going to happen. From the start. But she wanted to come up.
I just don't have no ratings for that type. I told you when it was happening, I said, who does that? Regardless of, I mean, I personally know what it is to have issues with your children's father or your ex-husband. But please, you're going to just let a man come in around your children and be dissing your ex-husband like that? Are you dumb?
I don't think you should have the kids around him.
I can't stand these women, man.
If you're going to have a relationship or date him, that's calm. But like at the same time,
levels,
you've just
man.
been in a marriage. You're going through the divorce and you already have a man.
Loyalties,
You've been moving in on that from time.
The move mad, didn't it?
You needed a little preps before... You know, now she feels good again, and now it looks like she's trying to get back with Kanye. She can't move.
Nah, man.
You see, after that,
get
off me. Get off me.
Hard. But what I don't get is how you're so established and you can't see your children. What's going on there?
Yeah, because she's obviously it's a Kardashian family. Come on,
weird.
Black people, then they have to exile us, but finished.
Use this for the source. You know what's interesting? There was a white girl speaking from her perspective, saying the reason why some white women get with black men. I've told you about this.
Women love black men because of the power dynamic, because white women have never had any power over men in their lives. Because obviously all the white men in their lives have always had all the power over them. So white women have whiteness over black men. And obviously to be in any sort of like control feels good, especially when you're used to never being in control.
And, you know, with my experience, obviously, with your father, his upbringing isn't dissimilar to ours, and so I'm not a novelty to him. You know, if anything, he has the issues where people think he's begging it to be black when it's just his upbringing. But being around white women who are connected with him, I definitely see and not that I didn't see it before, but it's definitely
envy.
Well, it's a control thing, it's a superiority thing.
White women feel safe with black men, not only because of the hypermasculinity that they believe black men exhibit, but because of the whiteness and power they hold over black men. This is why also white women can still be racist and be with black men.
It's like, oh, I've got a black willy, hello everyone, do you see this black willy? You mustn't do that.
And be like, conservative white women will be like married to a black man. And this is why white women love their black sons and hate their black daughters. Black sons give you access to the patriarchy. They give you power, whereas black daughters don't.
In my hand, do you understand what I'm saying? Because, you know, at the end of the day, you still have a superiority mindset. Some of them still have that mindset. And so,
but
like,
you feel shame because that's still kind of like the master mentality.
Yeah, exactly. But and so that when they're saying, when they're saying dumb things like, oh, the reason why black women, they're divorced more and we go to the white women and they're at better. We did a show, our last show, showing you the suffragettes. The white women stood outside of the White House demanding their freedom. So this narrative it's absolute nonsense. White women fought for their freedom because white men wouldn't allow them the privilege. So what are you talking about? Becky's all subdued and nonsense. Nonsense. It's just nonsense again.
I don't want to say it.
Just say it. Because it's provocative.
Black women are too opinionated, you know. We need to be like quiet.
Just nonsense.
And just like...
White women
Shut
were
up.
never
like,
quiet.
If you have an opinion, just be quiet.
They were never quiet. They were lying on black men, getting them battered and then the rest of it. They were chucking out their own white men and demanding freedom.
Don't dance.
What are you talking about?
Don't dance because your booty jiggles and it's really uncomfortable for me to watch.
There's just a lot of nonsense being said. There's just a lot of things that are said which are not factual and people just need to read or watch a bloody video. It's not hard. You know what? A lot of this mindset, to be honest, it's continuous perpetuation. It's like I saw what's that rapper with the braids? His dark skin.
Travis Scott.
No. He wears red in his hair.
Little Yacht.
He might be him.
Yeah. Little Boat.
It might be him, but he was in an interview.
Red hair.
He used to have red hair, I know. But anyway, he was speaking to this girl and he said, what? He must have liked her. She said, interviewing him. He said, what's your nationality? She said, I'm partly African of some sort and partly Norwegian or something like that. And he said, oh, I'm so jealous. I wish that I was African because the history is rich. She goes, well, he's part of you too. And he was like, yeah, but it's way, way down. I said, how do you black people who are American, I mean, and your lineage isn't from Africa, still not know that the indigenous people of America were black? How do you still not know?
Athletic Carib or the stunted Chima in the dark Californian. All right, we got 3 videos, right? The dark Californian, look at the correlation. The dark Californian or the fair Baroa, he is an Indian still. Doesn't matter how you're saying, he's still an Indian and cannot be mistaken for being of any other race. They're not African, they're still Indians.
Because they're not actively looking.
Oh my God, like, it's so tiring.
Yeah, it's jarring.
It's jarring, it's just like, how are people so asleep still in 2022? I don't understand it.
I've always said though, the Americans are slow.
Flipping it, man.
You see, with us, I feel like we're a bit more English, we're a bit more awake. because we won't have it, and then we're smaller though. The island is small, so we can really just rebel if we want to and just say, yo, we don't rate Boris and the Queen and all of that. Some of them are bum licking up the royals, but as for us in general, we don't really have to listen to them. Whereas Americans, they just get scared because it's.
But it's just not hard. It's not hard. And you know what? Whilst we're on it, actually, and maybe I'll put the piece in. I say, because we like to big up other people, because we're not separatists like that. Give this man his flowers. I've said it before. Carimio.
The French Guiana, Mr. Herman Jessen, the Amazon trader, makes his way up the Moroni River, aided by friendly natives.
Go to his channel. I'll put a piece in.
We start in the town of Saint-Laurent-du-Maroni in French Guiana on the Moroni River. This river divides Dutch Guiana from French Guiana, and the native quarters house these beautiful canoes in which the natives use. Two of the men who made this trip with me, my companions, on a long journey trading with the natives of this region.
Because if you are American and you really want to, and you're black, and to be honest, loads of people, all different colours of people go on this channel. But if you want to know the truth in regards to America, history, England, especially being this whole thing with colour as well. When you read these books of the voyagers, they will tell you when they came to the islands, there were black people will have different colours, from swarthy, which originally meant very bleak, black, olive, which meant black. It didn't mean green, because you remember you get brown olives and you get black olives, yeah, and to almost white. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Mm. And so all of this stuff about skin tone and I know I'm Latino and I'm all these different things, that's something that the voyagers came and did to separate us, to control us. Like, come on now.
They're doing a good job.
Come on now. It's still working now. It's so lame. Well, anywho, go to his channel, go and learn something, go free yourself. Come on, man, it's dead now. You know what I mean?
Long day.
Anywho, it's a short one. Really.
Not very short at all.
Well, it felt short. 3 chops to the front. What was it? I'm not coming on here again.
I hate you.
We love you. And all we want is freedom and harmony.
Peace.
And peace and love. And so we bid you adieu. Remember, you want this book? I'm just giving loads away for free now. Come get you one. Oh. Look,
put your chin down.
Let me show you. Just mix up. Let me show you inside.
No, they can't see. Come on, 1 page, quick.
Put the PowerPoint on. Take care. Have a good week. Love you. Mwah.
But still in all, they have high moral quality. They don't know hate, they don't know jealousy and envy.